Hey everyone, I want to talk about HOWL'S Moving Castle because I overlooked this anime because I thought it was boring, even though I didn't watch a second of it. I somehow just assumed, like our minds do every time, they just assume without even knowing. And I was surprised that my trainer said that this was about love, and I didn't think this movie was about love. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it because she recommended it to me. And I loved it. And to me, that was about self esteem, self worth, the feminine and the masculine, the belief in other person, the principle, like the going to the war. You feel like you don't want to go to war, but when you have someone to protect, you want to go to war. So it's like maybe it's important for a person to have someone out there that you need to protect in order to change your own principles. So it was a beautiful beautiful story about a woman who thinks that she's not beautiful, and then she's like, okay, I'll just be like, she becomes an old woman, and she's like, oh, like I don't care about my appearance. Like he is not gonna look at me in the romantic way. So she doesn't care about it. And then, even if she doesn't care about it, he sees her. He sees her femininity, he sees what value she brings as a woman to him, and he falls in love with her, even though she looked like an old lady, because it's just, her energy. And he says to her that she is beautiful, and she becomes younger and younger throughout the movie because she feels younger and younger, and she feels more. She just finally sees like her beauty, and she sees that even if a person is very beautiful, they still can have insecurities about their beauty. Like you might look at someone and be like, how can you have insecurities? Okay, me, like I'm not the most beautiful person in the world, but you have insecurities, and look at yourself. And it's like she realized that it's not only the thing of people who think they're ugly. It's true for like everyone, because we are so fucking insecure about our appearances. Like yesterday I was having a tantrum over thinking that I'm not certain criteria that I want to be. Like, I don't look very mature. I look like a fucking teenager, and I looked at someone who looks really mature, and I compared myself to them, and I felt like shit. And I looked at someone who has already something that I want for myself, and I felt like shit. And I felt like shit the whole fucking day. No, not the whole fucking day. The end of the day, I felt very, very shitty. And I cried all night. And I just didn't have the energy to do anything this morning. So it's like, it just shows how vulnerable we are with this topic of beauty. But we forget that innately we are souls that don't have any appearance, or they can have any appearance they want. So it's like, it doesn't really, like, it's easy to say, but it's not easy to really apply. So it's easy to say, oh, be the love, but it's hard to be the love when all you face is hate and judgment. So yeah, and I loved the ending. I loved those little quotes that the main character says, like the one benefit of being old is that you're not surprised and you have nothing to lose. Like it's those little quotes of wisdom that she says. And the quote that I most loved is that he asks, "Why do I feel like so heavy?" And she says, it's always harder to live with a heart. Because back then he didn't live with a heart. And then he had a heart and he felt the weight of having a heart, because you have all these emotions and people can hurt you and so on. So it's like, and I felt that so deeply, because if I didn't have a heart, Ray and I wouldn't be having all this emotions and thoughts. But since I have a heart, people can sometimes hurt me and I'm not protected from the hurt. So I recommend it. I also read the reviews and the senses, to understand better. So it's like, I recommend for you to watch and read about it, because it's really great.